Good morning! Here we are today, day 4 of our journey through Fear to Love Live. And today I want to show you how to release the guilt. Very often people are asking, how do I free myself from feeling guilt? And we often end up feeling guilt for no reason, especially right now with everything we see going on, with all of the stress and all the suffering, particularly with all of the challenges that so many people are facing. Really, I never really like talking about it, but let's face it, it is happening in this time-space reality. The government guidelines that are coming in around lockdown, and so many people feel guilty because they feel happy. They might have a moment of happiness when other people are in pain. Maybe it's just the good old-fashioned guilt that people have when they know that they've done things wrong, or things that perhaps they're not saying to people and friends and loved ones. Perhaps it's lies that people have told. Perhaps it's saying bad things about others. Perhaps it's feeling like they no longer care for other people. There are so many reasons for feeling guilty. Guilty when we have something. Guilty because perhaps we have more than other people, and we know that we have more, and we should feel grateful for what we have, and yet we still have these moments of sadness or feeling guilty because we've got something and we see other people are missing it. There are so many different reasons why. So today we're going to do some work on releasing the guilt. And actually, I'm going to introduce you to a different way to use the 5 steps of EAM for those people who don't really feel emotions in their bodies, for those who tend to be a little bit more focused on what's in their head or not really able to tune into their physical. I'm going to show you a different way of doing it today. Just because all of us are different, and that's why there are lots of different ways to put EAM into practice. So I'm hoping that we're streaming everywhere. We've been having a little bit of a bump with YouTube. It doesn't want to play ball with us, but that's all good. We are live on Facebook and we are here on Instagram too. So if you're here with us today, please just give us a hello, whether you're watching live and whether you're watching on the replay, where you're tuning in from, how you have found the previous days. This is day 4 of our journey. And for those of you who this might be the first video that you're watching, my name is Yvette Taylor and I'm the creator of EAM, and along with Lisa Hammond, who is the co-founder of this, we have been on a journey over the last 6 years now, shared EAM with more than 50,000 and growing now because of this week, with more than 50,000 people around the world. And we've got over 100 mentors, and in fact, this week, we've got another wave of practitioners training with us in how to use this modality. And this is the first time I'm not leading the training in 5.5 years. It's a really, 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 really big deal. I've been a little bit emotional about that. And yes, done EAM on it. But the reason I'm saying all of that is that we are now more than ever, and we always have been, passionate about empowering people, showing people the power, the energy, the capacity they have to change what they see, to change what's going on in their life, to no longer be at effect of everything that you see going on outside of you. You are your creator in your life. You are the one who gets to choose what you think, what you feel, what you see. And I know it can sound like a really kind of spiritual, esoteric principle that's out there, that's not grounded in any practicality, and actually that's not true. Science has shown and now validated so many of the principles that have been talked about by spiritual practices, religious practices, Eastern philosophies, understandings of ourselves that have been talked about for thousands of years. Their language might have been a little bit different to the words that we share today, but the principles and the foundations are grounded, and science is now showing all of the things that we knew before were true. Most important one of those is that you can shift your emotions. You can choose to step out of the drama and step back into your power, and that is the mission that we are on whilst the whole planet is going through this massive change. We want to empower more people like you to realise that you can actually choose how you feel, and most importantly, to get you back into that place of being in flow and being in alignment, because when you're there, that is when you'll make the right decisions for you, your life, your loved ones, the people around you, the community as a whole, instead of stepping into or slipping into this state of fear, which is being induced upon the planet. So I will get off my high horse. I'll save that for another video. But today is all about guilt. So when we have guilt, imagine that you are all around you is this beautiful, and it is there, I don't need to get you to imagine, all around you, you have this beautiful energy field known as your aura. Some call it your energy field, some call it your, I don't know, we have all kinds of names for it. But in that energy field is a recording of everything that's ever happened to you in your life. Every thought you've had, every experience you've had, every conversation you've had, every story you've told, every story you haven't told. And particularly when it comes to guilt, imagine, those people that used to have the flasher Macs. I don't know if you ever saw one, but those people, when they've just got the big Mac, and it was like they used to be like I've got this hidden over here, what do you want? What can I get you? It's that kind of energy. When you think about guilt, it's like outside you would never see it. All you see is this coat and somebody looking very, well-to-do. And of course, I am not carrying any guilt. I've never done anything wrong. But then if you actually ask them to open their Mac, what you'll find inside, I don't know why I came up with the analogy of the Mac, but anyway, you'll start to see random stuff just comes out when I'm teaching. But what you'll find inside is all of this hidden stuff. And the thing is, no matter how much you try and keep your flasher Mac closed, all of that stuff is still hidden inside of you. And it shows up every single time, in every conversation, in who you are, in what you're talking about, in who you're with, in how you're being. It shows up everywhere. And this isn't just guilt. It applies to every single one of these resistant emotions. Now, those of you who are watching online, let me just show you really quickly. I'm hoping this is the journey that we are going on. Over these next few weeks, we're actually working with you and moving you up the emotional scale. Those of you tuning on Instagram might not be able to see this, and I will do a drawing for you at some other point. Watch one of our emotional scale videos. But over the next few weeks, what we're actually doing is taking you along this journey. We started at the very beginning with fear and depression, and today we're moving up the scale into guilt. We've worked on powerlessness, and each video every day is moving us all, as you follow the series of videos, through these emotions up to a place of freedom, love, and joy. So every emotion sits in this, somewhere in this journey. So let's begin today. Let's get started on the 5 steps of the process to work through this and release all of this together. So I'm going to walk you through the 5 steps. It takes much longer for me to explain it than it does for you to actually do it for yourself. If this is the first time that you've seen EAM, used it, put it into practice, please just follow along the steps I'm sharing with you. Underneath this video is a link for you to watch the training video where I explain the 5 steps in a bit more detail. So just trust me whilst you're watching this, watch this, and then afterwards go and watch the other video. It's only 8 minutes long, and I am sure you have spent longer watching funny cat videos. This one's actually going to help you to change your life. So please give yourself 8 minutes to learn a transformational self-help tool that will help you shift anything that is standing in your way. So I invite you to stand with me and stand with your feet hip-width apart. If you can't stand, it's absolutely fine. Just try and sit yourself forward on the chair. And if you can't sit yourself forward on the chair, just pay attention to what you're feeling inside. The reason I ask you to stand is because we're going to use a technique known as the sway from applied kinesiology. Now, the sway is actually a neuromuscular or an idiomotor response, it's known as a neurological and muscular response to what's happening in your subconscious. It's like a nervous twitch, but we're putting that nervous twitch, I suppose, to use. So what we're going to do, and a core part of using EAM, is understanding exactly what that thing is or how something is affecting or impacting us. And the sway is how we use that. Now, this actually helps us to access our subconscious. Remember that energy field I was just talking about that's recorded every single piece of information of everything that's ever happened to you? Your conscious awareness is like this much is what you actually know, and actually your full potential consciousness, including your subconscious, is like this much. It's huge. And there is a wealth of information in there. In fact, the answer to every single self-help question, every problem you're facing in your life or think you're facing in your life, the answer to why and how to fix it or change it or shift it for you is actually in your aura, in your energy field. And that's exactly what EAM helps you to do. Anyway, back to the 5 steps. Sorry, I'm teaching. I can't stop myself. So, 5 steps, we use the sway, and I want you to just stand with your feet hip-width apart. So there are 5 steps to the process. Step 1, we ask a question of our subconscious. Step 2, our body is going to respond, and that will give us a sway forwards or backwards. Forwards is usually a yes, and a backwards is usually a no, and this is our subconscious offering up the answer to the question we've just asked. Step 3, there are lots of ways to do step 3, and the previous 3 videos I've been teaching you how to do this by tuning into what's happening in your energy. So I'm going to give you both examples today. There's how to do it with your energy, and there's also a way to use numbers to find out how many of something you have. For those of you who don't feel this, so I'm going to teach you how to use that technique in this video today as well. Step 4 is where we use the transformational step, and this is where I will guide you through a transformational release statement to let go of whatever it is standing in the way, and step 5 is where we get to manifest. So this is where we get to begin. So today, of course, we're working on guilt. Now, I just want you to close your eyes, make sure that your feet hip-width apart, hips are loose, back of your knees are loose. Take a nice deep breath, pop your hands down by your sides, and if you can, close your eyes just to allow you to become a bit more centered. Take your awareness out of your head, bring it down into your heart or into your stomach, just so that your energy isn't all up top. And I want you to just ask, do I feel or am I carrying any feelings of guilt? Change the question in whichever way works for you. Do I feel guilt? Or am I carrying any feelings of guilt? So step 1 was ask the question. Step 2, your body is going to respond. Usually a sway forward is a yes, and usually a sway backward is a no. I know sometimes when we're doing this, people might get weird sways side to side or going around in circles or not sway at all. And all of them are a separate video. I am going to shoot the video for you so that you understand what to do with those. And step 3, like I said, there are lots of ways to do this. So step 3 is, for those of you who feel this, I just want you to tune into how that guilt feels inside. Where would you locate it? What size is it? What colour is it? What shape is it? So you might have a hard red ball in your stomach, or it might be a heaviness between your feet. And for those of you who don't feel anything, I'm going to show you now how you can use the sway to identify it. So imagine every time you felt guilt, it's kind of put a little chalk mark, a little tick somewhere in your energy field, like, yep, we've got a tick, we've got some guilt. Yep, next time I've got some more guilt. Oh, I've got some more guilt. How many times in your life do you think you've experienced guilt? How many what we call imprints of guilt are you carrying in your energy field? Big question. Now, I know that some of you might be like, oh my God, I've got like thousands or millions, and it's absolutely fine. We don't need to find each and every single one. Unlike you do with some other methodologies, you can actually clear all of them at once. Yay! With EAM. So the way that we do that is use our sway, and you would ask, am I carrying more than, and this is really important, am I carrying more than, say for example, 100 feelings of guilt? And your body might sway forwards and give you a yes, or it might sway backwards. So if it's a forwards, then go up, am I carrying more than 1,000 feelings of guilt? And it might sway backwards and say no. So you know somewhere between 100 and 1,000. Am I carrying more than 500 feelings of guilt? No. So it's somewhere between 100 and 500. Am I carrying more than 300 feelings of guilt? Yes. So it's somewhere between 300 and 500. Do you get the point? So use your sway to help you get a ballpark figure. You don't need to narrow it down to something very accurate of how many repetitions or how many feelings of guilt you have. It might be that you ask and it says, yes, I've got more than 100, I've got more than 1,000, I've got more than 10,000, I've got more than 100,000, I've got more than 1 million, oh my God, okay, I've got more than 10 million feelings of guilt. Don't worry about the number. As soon as you've identified the number, they disappeared pretty much just as quickly. So just trust the process as we're going through this. So you can use that if you're not feeling something. You can use the numbers process to identify a start point. How many of something do you have? Now, if you need to go back and watch the video after, you can do that as well. So hopefully you've found a number, you've got a ballpark, something in the region. Then we're going to do step 4. So step 4, just bring your attention back inside yourself. Sorry, I know I brought you out with doing the explanation. Just tune into that feeling of guilt if you're experiencing something, or those of you who now have a number or a ballpark number of feelings of guilt that you have. Simply repeat this statement out loud after me. I am ready to release this, and then you would describe hard red ball or 9,999 feelings of guilt, whatever it might be, from my energy. I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I am ready to release these. Describe the feeling inside of you, or these 999,000 feelings of guilt. I release this all from my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I am ready to release these 999,000 feelings of guilt, or this hard red ball that feels like guilt in my energy. I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. And then take a nice deep breath in and breathe it out. Now, usually at this point, you would check in and ask your sway again, have I released this guilt? And you might get a sway yes forward, and if you get a sway no backwards, you would simply repeat step 4 again. For those of you who are doing the feeling, it might feel a little bit different, it might be smaller, it might have disappeared, it might have moved. All of them are very common things that happen. And then with the numbers, you would then ask your sway, do I still have 999,000 feelings of guilt? No. Do I have more than 1,000 feelings of guilt? No. Do I have more than 500? No. Do I have more than 100? No. Do I have more than 10? Yes. Okay. So then you would simply repeat step 4 again. I am ready to release these remaining feelings of guilt. I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. So you can pop back and finish working on those if you need to. So now we move on to step 5. Step 5 is my favourite, and step 5 is in fact what EAM is all about. Most self-help methodologies are focused on the release. I'm not feeling guilt anymore. I'm not feeling powerless. I'm not feeling depressed, and therefore I'm okay, or therefore I'm better. No, that's not entirely true. When we release something from our energy, it actually creates a gap. It creates a space. Why would you not choose to replace that with something that's going to serve you, support you, or empower you? Just because you don't feel bad doesn't mean that you then feel good. You can choose to reprogram your energy field in the same way that got there in the first place. You can choose to feel anything or experience anything that you want to. So today, this step 5 is all about being self-responsible, about owning ourselves, owning our truth, speaking our truth from a place of love. And of course, we've done the work now on releasing the guilt. So I just want you to close your eyes for me. Just imagine you're opening yourself up, just letting your body feel as if it's expanding. Imagine that your energy is now filling the room that you're in. Imagine that there is a cord up above you, coming down your spine, down through into your feet, into the earth, supporting you as you stand up tall. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And then pop your hands up above your head with your palms facing up. And repeat this step 5 statement after me. I will try to slow it down. I am ready to allow myself to be self-responsible, to stand in my power, to know my right from wrong. I speak my truth with love. I communicate openly and honestly about my life and experiences. I allow myself to connect with others. I am responsible for my energy, thoughts, and emotions. I have the strength, love, and power to take care of myself and others. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Two more times. I am ready to allow myself to be self-responsible, to stand in my power, to know right from wrong. I choose to speak my truth with love, openness, and honesty. I create connections with myself and others around me. I am grounded. I am powerful. I am responsible for my energy. I am responsible for my thoughts. I am responsible for my emotions. I have the power. I have the strength and energy to keep me moving forwards. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I am ready to allow myself to be self-responsible, to stand in my power, and to know right from wrong. I am responsible for my energy, my thoughts and emotions. I send love connection and light to everyone else on this planet, to the people I know and love. I allow all of this into my energy, in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Nice deep breath. And out. And just allow yourself to bring your hands down by your side. And whenever you feel ready to, you can open your eyes. How's that feel? I feel really grounded. I just feel really open and peaceful inside. I hope that has set you up in a much better way for the rest of your day. Take this strength and groundedness, this connection with you in everything that you do. Please remember to share this as far and wide as possible. Think about the parents, the mums and the dads who are at home, people who are struggling or perhaps lost their livelihood, their work, their businesses, people in ill health, people who are isolated, stressed, anxious, depressed, turning to drink and drugs and alcohol, the teenagers, the children. There are so many people out there right now who need to know that they can shift what they're feeling, and they need you to share this with them. So please, please, please share this in the groups, share this on your page, send it on WhatsApp, whatever you need to do to get this out to the people who are asking for it. So thank you, thank you, thank you in advance for being here, for showing up with us every day. It's such an amazing experience. There are thousands of you that have joined us to be doing this, and you're tuning into the videos at different times in different places, but thank you for being part of this. I can't wait to see where we are by the beginning of December. So for now, sending you loads of love. Keep tuning in every day, 10 o'clock, Monday to Friday, and we will see you really soon. Take care for now.